Chapter 6. The port town of Laguna had ships poled into every dock. Jason, the avatar of the Metamind, materialized in the center of town. What is happening here? With a wave of his hand, he sent a psychic pulse scanning the entire town. The psychic wave flowed through every inch for a mile out. Knowledge of his surroundings entered his mind. So, this is what I haven't noticed. Guardian. He is coming for you, a voice said behind Jason. Without looking behind, Jason answered, Zane, your god will stop at nothing to kill me, will he? Clad in bright white armor, with a large shield and sword sheathed, his winged figure responded. Guardian is many things, Jason. Forgiveness for killing one of his brothers is not one of the things his infinite mercy has room for. Even though I am more focused on demons and devils, the supposed good God seeks petty vengeance, I know your God knows everything, you know. Make sure he is paying attention to these words. I can feel his focus listening even now, Zane said through his gritted teeth. It does not have to be this way. That prophecy about me killing the good gods can end with deity. We can cease a war before it even starts. Tell him that together we could destroy hell itself. I will tell you exactly what Guardian would say to such a proposition. The Archon of Guardian paused, ensuring he had Jason's full attention. Jason turned around to look at him. Guardian will never compromise his integrity. Your place is in hell. Even if you destroy it, my God will never stop hunting you. I already knew you would respond that way. Thought I would try all the same. Jason shrugged. Everything has its place. Evil is for the evil souls, and by Guardian's will should continue to exist. Your quest goes against the will of Guardian no matter what you do. Then you waste my time. Jason waved his hand, causing Zane's body to flash and vanish from sight. Time to see what exactly is going on here in Laguna. Exploring the docks, he first examined the docked ships. Jason looked at their auras. Everyone in here is a worshipper of Guardian. The dock workers were moving large boxes off the ship. Using his psychic senses, he learned the contents of the boxes. The Metamind narrowed his eyes, annoyed. Siege weapons. What are Guardian's worshippers intending on sieging? His hand passed over the head of one of the crew members. Light flowed from the mortal to the avatar of the Metamind. Bah! He has no idea. None of these people know. Jason paced back and forth. His hand clenched his chin in deep thought. Zane would not be here unless this is important. Right now, nothing is more important to Guardian than killing me. He stopped pacing, then snapped his fingers, realizing something. Where are these weapons going? Waving his hand in front of himself, Jason altered the air to shimmer. The shimmering swirled into an image of these boxes moving. Time within this image accelerated, revealing their destination. A massive force carried these siege weapons far to the north to Mount Skyborn. He witnessed a battle between the devout followers of Guardian and the devout followers of the Metamind. The Guardian followers used steel and clerical magic, while the Metamind followers used psychic energy. Jason dismissed the image prior to seeing the outcome of the battle. So be it. I, however, will do this myself without relying on mortals. Jason vanished from sight, teleporting away. The city of Babylon. Jason materialized in the sky, looking down on the walled-in kingdom of Babylon. You seek to destroy my city first? I think not. Psychic energy welled up inside of the Metamind. The energy built up, accumulating throughout his body, preparing to release. Lightning struck throughout the sky from cloud to cloud. Jason ignored it as he continued to build up the psychic energy. Lightning slammed into the ground with a massive boom. Looking down, he saw him, wearing illuminated divine armor, wielding a golden shield that bore the symbol of Guardian, the 6 circles that connected, forming a circle themselves. He stood. In his other hand radiated a holy sword, held with a firm grip. Under his shining helmet, his bearded face was uncovered. With thick muscle-bound arms, he looked up at Jason. Standing in the sand on the desert, not even a mile from Babylon, the angered god buckled down, preparing himself. "Guardian, you intend on destroying my people. I will destroy you first," Jason declared. Guardian said nothing as his body propelled in the air, with his sword pointing straight to Jason. Releasing the psychic energy into an attack aimed for Babylon, Jason fired it onto the city that held the most worshippers of Guardian. Guardian intercepted that blast. The psychic energy surrounded the god of law and good. Guardian did not slow down his momentum as the psychic blast flooded into his shield. Jason's eyes widened with surprise. His shield absorbed my blast. The human god moved like a shooting star, hurling himself at Jason. Jason attempted to teleport away, only to remain in place. Guardian's sword stabbed the new god, obliterating him instantly. Guardian slowed his momentum, coming to a stop. He frowned at his victory. "I destroyed your avatar. I will destroy you next." The realm of the god Metamind. His eyes ceased flashing. The face of the god Metamind was in pain. "The loss of my avatar was unforeseen. Guardian is more powerful than I gave him credit." 2 angels stood before him. "Lord, may we serve?" "Find Garyx. He should have returned with candidates to become archons by now." He pointed at the second angel. "You stay here, prepared to be assigned." The angels bowed. One left in search of Garyx. Waving his hand, the Metamind revealed the image of the first angel he sent down to the mortal realm, only to see him battling dozens of devils. The angel was bruised and beaten, refusing to give up the fight. Devils danced with joy at their oncoming victory. Scowling at the image before him, he waved his hand, changing the sight to the second angel within the labyrinth. This angel had found the party of devils sent. Their battle broke out immediately. Calculating in his head, he predicted the outcome. The Metamind frowned at the imminent failure of this angel. Waving his hand again to alter the image to the next angel, only to witness additional losses. He altered the image again and again, only to see his forces failing, and foretelling his own downfall as a god. "Lord, you are the one true God. And are my fellow angels failing a test you have given them? I believe in you. This is all part of your plan," the naive angel said. Pointing at the faithful angel, the Metamind stood up. "I will not go down so easily. I may be a new god, but I am far from defeat. I want you to stay here in my heaven. I will send no more angels. I will no longer allow these distractions to work. Recall every angel and archon immediately." The angel bowed. "Lord, you only have one archon, Lisa." "Lisa, come to me now." The Metamind waited. Nothing happened. He waved his hand, altering the image to show Lisa, only to reveal a black, empty picture. "Where is Lisa?" Swirling his hand and finger before the image, the Metamind caused it to play backwards. "Show me what has happened to my first archon." The image revealed the events that have turned her into an agent of Garyx. actual surprise etched onto the face of the god Metamind. Lisa, I will find you and restore you to your true self. What will you have me do, Lord? The angel asked. Nothing. I will go myself. No avatar, but my true self. I have seen Garyx's origins, and will start with the only one remaining that knew Garyx as immortal. The Metamind vanished from sight. Jarius Kane. Why didn't you want to prepare better? Because, Dagon, it would be an utter waste of time, and you know it. Jarius swung his sword into the darkness. A screeching sound was heard, followed by a thump. How so? You have an understanding of psionics better than the vast majority of the multiverse. Better so than even myself. A purple flame lit in his hand, illuminating the surrounding area within 30 feet. Creatures made of pure shadow surrounded the blonde-robed wizard. Throwing the flame at a monster before him, he rushed forward. These 6 psychic components are weak. While they are strengthened from practice from the previous entity that roamed inside of your head, they are very pathetic to do what I am used to. Swinging his sword, another thing was obliterated from the blow. And you think I somehow feel different? You were Dagon. You had just attained godhood. Jarius attacked with his sword again. Before that, you were a demon lord. Grabbing the sword with both hands, he pulled it apart, turning the sword into 2 blades of equal size. Spinning, cutting, and slashing everything in his path, Jarius continued to move forward. Before that, you, his voice was loud with anger as he continued to fight and talk, were Prism. Prism was a psychic entity that wielded magic and mind like no other. I remember all of that. I was Prism in the previous universe, just as you were. Who exactly? Hacking the head off of a shadow beast, Jarius jumped forward. For the longest time, I thought I was Cage or maybe Rune, but you see, I am none of those 3. I am the reincarnation of Cretan. That doesn't make any sense. Cretan was Cage, Prism, and Rune. You were not one of those 3. You could not be Cretan. Oh, but I am. Jarius let go of the swords. They flew around, encircling himself. 2 more swords appeared in his hands. He stood, still allowing the 2 flying swords to protect himself. I am the soul of Cretan. Explain. I am his ambition, his perseverance. I am Cretan's desire and will. How did you come to this conclusion? Tell me, Dagon, throughout the countless millions of years you have existed in this multiverse in that form, why have you not risen above the status of Demon Lord? Shadow demons were torn asunder by the flying swords as they tried to get to Jarius. You act as if such a thing is easy. I needed an opportunity, which I finally got when Jason came along. You never had the opportunity to conquer other demon lords? I find that notion to be absurd. That's easy for you to say. Like I said, I never had the opportunity to rise above Jace until Jason came along. If there is no opportunity, then you make one. I presented Jason to you on a silver platter. I created him, not for you to take, but for me to control. Jarius pointed his swords forward, mentally commanding the flying ones to cut enemies ahead. Running once again, he struck enemies down with every swing. I no longer control Jason, nor will I ever, thanks to you. So I adapted to the situation. This is what Cretan does. This is how I know I am the soul of Cretan. Without me, Cage Room and you will never advance. You need me a lot more than I need you. Slashing his swords in a vertical arc caused that space to open up, creating a portal, which Jarius jumped in. A portal opened up, in another area that looked identical to the darkened area he just left. Jarius jumped out with his sword swinging, cutting down more demons that stood in his way. Cretan was powerful. I truly miss that limitless power we once wielded. Good! Nice to see we are finally on the same page. Do what I say and we will be our true self once again. How? First, I need you to be useful. He hit a wall with the butt of his sword, crashing it as he jumped through. That is one way to go through a maze. Useful to you how? Really? You honestly need me to ask that? Are you sure you're Prism? I remember Prism was more intelligent than this. Use the six psychic components I have. These pathetic demons we are fighting. Jarius struck another down. We need to synchronize and fight together without me needing to tell you what to do. We can practice that on these small fry. And we had better master it before we get to her. Otherwise we will die. Like this. A demon exploded just before Jarius hacked at it, causing his weapon to swing into empty air. No, you have wasted an attack. He swung his sword again, making contact with the hand of a shadow-skinned demon that held the bladed portion. Jason and the demon made eye contact. Very impressive. Looks like we are getting closer to Loth if she is now sending demons that can actually withstand the touch of my sword. Looking at the demon's hand holding the blade, Jarius saw the blade cutting into its skin. Darkness dripped from the thing's wound like water and blood. Too bad Loth sent the stupid ones. The demon held the blade portion of the sword, exploded from psychic energy. A barrier surrounded it as the death throes were contained. Do you mean more like this? Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. We are supposed to complement each other's attacks, not hinder or compete. How much longer until we reach Loth? How many portals have we gone through? Jarius began to run to a massive demon that was charging him. With a mighty jump from both the humongous demon and Jarius, they hurled at one another. 12. Jarius spun his body, cutting through the beast's head. Psychic energy surrounded his body, gliding him to the thing's back, where Jarius ran across it. You are improving, Jarius remarked as he jumped off of the slain demon. His hands, feet, and ring glowed purple as his body lifted off of the ground. He took flight, moving towards his goal. How many more layers of the abyss do we trek? All of them! What? That's absurd. There's 666. Damn it, Dagon. Is your memory truly this bad? Ah, yes. How could I forget? I destroyed 462 when I was a god. Well, you lack the power to destroy entire realms. You are proceeding through them at an incredible rate. 188 remain. We will be through them in just a few short hours. What has kept you from blowing through the abyss like this before? The lack of power, for one. After that, I was stuck under the control of Orcus. After that, I was stuck under the control of Jason. After that, it was the god version of him. Now that I am free and powerful, there is no longer any need to wait. I am tired of biding my time, and there is nothing left to wait for. Not only do I have my greatest weapon, this sword, I also have my superior god strength, a demon lord in my powerful ring, and my arcane magic I have studied for 200 years, and you who control every psychic ability. Nothing can stop us. A bar within the port town of Laguna. The four Klemos teleported in. The air rustled briefly. Inside, they saw one patron and the bartender. Gray Climo approached the bar. I am looking for someone. The patron refused to look at her, preferring to keep to himself. The bartender shrugged. No drink, no loitering. She reached into her pocket for money. I will just have some wine. What kind of wine? Red, she yelled, swinging her sword at the bartender they swiftly blocked with a weapon of their own. Their eyes turned solid black as their voice deepened. However did you know it was me? Red Climo grinned. Gray teleported away as the patron attempted to grab her. She reappeared with the other three Climos. I have enchanted eyes, you moron. I could see your true form no matter what you hide as. Junior and Twinkle drew their weapons. Architect Climo held a large hammer. The four disappeared, dispersing around the room. Twinkle appeared behind one of the two Reds, who by now had dropped their disguises, revealing their true form. Their 6 arms wielded weapons that swung at Twinkle. The teleporting swordsman evaded by bending backwards, swinging after swing. Twinkle dodged their blows. Both Reds charged him only to be tripped by the hammer of the Architect Climo. Gray and Junior stabbed down into the two Reds. Magic glowed from their weapons as Reds were altered back to their original Climo selves. Is he getting easier? Junior asked. Yes, he is, Twinkle replied. Think about it, Junior. Gray extended her arm to answer to the newly restored Climo, helping him up. With each Climo we restore, Red loses that knowledge, psychic energy, and version from his million one-man army. So, a voice came from the shadows. The 6 Climos looked. Red walked into the room. You have actually discovered a way to undo me. 4 more Reds walked out of the shadows from one corner. Looks like killing you might have to do instead of absorbing you. 4 more walked out of another corner. You will not be teleporting out either. Another 4 entered from the 3rd corner. Everyone looked to the 4th corner to see another 4 walk in. Good, you saved us the trouble of finding you, Gray screamed at the 17 Reds. A Red raised his hand and glowed with psychic energy. Gray was heaved into the air. The energy surrounded her neck. With lightning speed, Twinkle lunged to the other side of the room, stabbing into the Red. Gray fell to the ground, grabbing her neck. That Red changed back into the original Climo. All you have to do is cut you. It is far easier for us to kill you, Twinkle shouted. Twinkle backflipped, dodging a strike from one of the Reds. Fighting broke out between the now 7 Climos and the Reds that continued to swarm into the room. Everyone swung their weapons. Red became a much harder target as he took this fight seriously. Volthrum! A Climo's voice from the front door. Magic erupted in the room, moving like a flood of water surrounding every Red Climo. Over 30 Reds ceased to move entirely. The non-Reds looked around in confusion, finally pointed at the door. Magic! I knew you would need my help. Quickly! That spell won't last more than a few seconds. Convert them now! I don't have another spell like that. You can teleport again, too. The Climos stabbed into the frozen Reds as fast as they could. Over a dozen Climos were restored before the spell wore off. Fighting broke out once again as Red could move more again. Psychic energy Magic energy, sword swinging, and teleporting occurred all across this room. Blurred streaks etched around them as Red desperately used any power he could to combat his adversaries. The parasite Klimo continued to bring in more and more versions of himself to the fray. Restored Klimos joined the fight right away. I have 1,000,000 more of me. Even if you take 100 of me away, I can keep coming. Sooner or later, I will get to you. I am not stopping. We don't want to stop, Twinkle said as he teleported one of the many restored Klimos away from the Red about to strike him. Just outside of a major city, inside of a cave within the desert. Bring the next chosen for their blessing, Lazan, the former human named Ian, said. His draconic wings rested behind him, relaxed. His maw formed a twisted smile. Around him rested dozens of large black eggs. Outside of this cave, where the line continued to stretch out farther, stood 2 large draconic guards. Their dragon arms were crossed as they stood on 2 human-shaped legs. Their scales glistened in the sunlight. In front of the Lazan was a line formed consisting of humans all wearing robes with the eye of Garyx stitched on, along with hoods over their faces. The line stopped 50 feet away from the cult leader. Standing directly in front of Lazan was a naked human, with head bowed down and arms at their sides. My child, the great Garyx, and the only true God has appointed me as the right hand. Through me you shall have salvation, only from the horrid soft human skin you wear. You too will no longer be Corvus bound. You will join the rest of us in our flight to spread the word of Garyx. All you ready to be like the mighty Garyx and share his skin? Yes, please, the naked cultists shouted, spreading their arms. Make me anew, make me like you, make me a child of Garyx. Lazan stabbed into their chest with his pointer finger, the nail portion glowing as dark shadows seeped out of his flesh, crawling over his skin and liquefying as they poured onto the willing cultist. Your transformation has begun. Lazan removed his claw, allowing the liquid shadows to fully envelop the cultist's body just as it did to himself. 2 draconic guards moved in. They lifted the large egg onto the stretcher, then moved it out of the way, where they placed the black egg next to so many others. Humanity will either join us or die like the pathetic weak race they are. Next, Lazan said.